and welcome to the We Are Sacramento podcast. This is episode 141, and I'm here with,
Boss ass Marty.
Mr. Miles Jolly.
and I am definitely your favorite immigrant, Mr. Mario Lopez. What's up? How y'all doing?
What up?
Yeah, man.
What's up?
What's up? Look, so we have guests today.
We do.
So we can't act up all weird and shit, because, you know,
I
we
make
gotta
no
have a good
guarantees.
experience.
No guarantees.
Like, those guys were creepers.
Oh, heck no.
No, creeper.
Listen, so we have
Maybe
Lalo. Yeah, I know. We have Lalo and Leandra from Sactown'S finest, and I got corrected.
Yes.
Market.
Market.
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
What's going on? What's going on?
Hi. How exciting.
Welcome.
Salutations.
Welcome.
I love when we have guests.
We act different,
Yeah, we
but like in a good way. Except me.
We just behave.
Yeah,
we
behave
do
a
just
little bit.
behave.
They chose the topic today that I was gonna rant about, so that's pretty tight. It's gonna go everywhere.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
All
let
right.
me take care of business before Miles gives me
You
the
felt it.
look.
You felt the
Yeah.
look.
So we are brought to you in part by Oak Park Brewing Company. If you're down with OPB,
Yeah, you know me.
Listen, man, they're open Monday through Sunday. They're doing their thing. Like right now, as we speaking, they are doing the Monday vibes. They got DJs, they got beer, they got all kinds of everything going on. And you know what's happening? You know what's coming out May 6th?
What?
We are Sacramento Beer.
We are Sacramento.
We got Carlos Kanye booked already.
Beer.
I signed the contract today.
We got Santana Must Die booked already. Bam.
Yeah.
Wait, I missed it. What?
Oh.
Oh,
I was listening, but I wasn't hearing.
As
wow.
of today.
as of today, we have Carlos Kanye performing for the release May 6th of
Nice.
our beer.
Yeah. Real salsa
Santana Must Die.
performer. You guys gotta be at that one too.
Yeah, I already invited them. If
Yeah.
they don't show up, we're not friends
It's
anymore.
gonna be hella fun.
The other thing though, now they have the Paint the Glow Foundation thing
Yes.
going on again, so they're
Yes.
doing the silent auction happening. So
And they're
that's a
celebrating
yeah.
Women Entrepreneur, International Women's Month.
Yes,
So
and
that is the theme.
That's an amazing cause, and that's how we love being involved with them and everything that we do for the most part. And so, if
Hell
you're down with
yeah.
OPB,
Yeah,
you
you
know
know
me.
me.
Look, man, we're also brought to you in part by MXL Mics and Accorda Mati.
We sound so beautiful.
Sound never looks so good.
Yeah.
With the best sound in the industry. Look, man, if you got a podcast, want to start a podcast, mxlmics.com and Accorda Mati.
We sound so beautiful.
Sound never looks so good.
I think I can sing, guys. I gotta
raspy
have that
voice.
display.
We about to get
Yeah.
platinum. Listen.
We are.
Yeah, right? In
Yeah.
the Congo and Guatemala,
Yep.
for sure.
Parts of the Congo.
I've been platinum in my head.
In Costa Rica, for sure. Listen, so another thing that we do here is we produce other people's podcasts. So one of them is Have a Dope Day with Gabe. And the
Gabe.
premise of that show is that he is just interviewing people that are in the art world, but also have been graffiti artists or the subculture of that. And graffiti has been involved in music, fashion, art. So it's a great, great show. I mean, I listened to it, not because I edited it, but it's a great freaking episode.
Dude.
But remember, graffiti is a crime.
It's
you
a
know?
crime, not anymore.
Remind me to give him an honorable mention in my
Yeah,
segment.
for sure. So go check that one out. Another podcast that we produce is Somebody Needs to Hear This with Bella Chan.
Bella.
And the premise of that show is another great one, is dealing with all the trauma that you've dealt with and all the music that you listen to while you were dealing with all that trauma. So it's a great premise. Another podcast that we produce here is Art Everywhere with Phil Nales.
Art
Yes.
everywhere.
Art Everywhere.
Phil.
That's another great one. It's just
I gotta
Phil.
get
You
gotta do
like,
something.
Yeah.
Hello, Phil.
that's another great one because it's him speaking to his friends for the most part, and or people that have become friends with him in the recent present, and just talking about just the politics of being an artist in Sacramento, or just being an artist, period. So
Dope.
that is pretty dope. So go check that one out. And then another thing though, so we got a few good ones coming out that are
Okay.
that are in the works.
Can I say that? Can I
Yeah,
say
go
that?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead, fam.
Fuck the industry.
Yes, ma'am. And we have the artwork for that,
That
right
should
there.
be the intro.
No,
If-
I don't know, Monty.
Something.
You
We'll
gotta
see
say
what
it more
happens.
like
I
you
know,
mean it.
I know,
I don't feel
I-
like you meant it.
I was trying not to yell.
yeah.
Sorry, Mario.
Yeah, all right.
But
Oh, beautiful.
that's the artwork for it. And obviously, it's going to be Becca, one of the owners of Oak Park Brewing Company, and they entrusted us to come here and record it here.
Is
So,
that Gabe?
Gabe, yeah.
Snaps. Snaps.
You know what I mean? He's fire. You know what I mean? So he's also having an art show here April 9th. So come support him because he's literally about the people, and he's really trying to create
yes.
a platform for his people that were in graffiti and just showing them a different a different way of doing things.
He's gonna be a guest on our podcast.
Oh,
soon.
for sure, it's happening.
Gabe,
For sure.
because I know you're listening.
Yeah.
Gabe.
We gotta save him though. We gotta save him for.
Yeah,
for,
no,
yeah,
it's look. We've been waiting.
we've been waiting.
Hold on. No.
Hey, but here's a shout out though that we want to give that to Decade of Records. That is short for Jessica Jolia. Listen, man, if you got a platinum hit in your hands right now, hit him up. Decade of Records.
Hit him up. Hit him up.
.com.
Hit him up.
Check that
hit
out,
him up.
Look, now that we're done with business, you're like, damn, that took like 5 minutes. He's like looking
Yeah.
at the ticket like, damn, it took him 5 minutes just to be like,
Even
what's up?
I was like, okay, I'm just going
So
outside.
we have guests, so
Yeah.
I gave them the option to choose the topic, and it was either going to be race, critical race theory, or work politics.
Yes.
And so since we're messy as hell, they chose work politics.
Oh.
And the work politics is just really about my work, because I go through some things, and so my rant's going to go a little something like this. So now that I don't no longer have a role of leadership, I've found a lot of time to just watch people as I'm doing my work, because I don't have to look at other people doing the work. I've actually been able to concentrate on their personalities.
Oh.
And Miles,
Yeah.
that I'm a people watcher, but I've been the type of person back in the days. Damn, I'm old. Back in the days that I've gone to like San Francisco airport to just watch people do some dumb shit.
Ooh, I love the people watch.
Like, have you ever seen people at the airport trying to shuffle stuff from one luggage to the other to make it less than 50? But fam, but you got 100.
It's great.
But you got 100. But between
and
the
it's
two,
like
you got
20
100.
minutes
Yeah,
before their flight.
yeah. But you got 120 pounds between the two, so there's no way you're gonna be able to do that.
Yep.
Like,
And you
it's
gotta-
crazy
you're
shit.
watching
But
them
I love
decide
it.
what to throw away.
Yeah,
And a
or
bag
like
full
people
of-
looking for people that they're looking for because their flight is there, but they miss each other. Like, it's fucking nuts.
Oh, gosh.
Boyfriends and girlfriends meeting each other after 6 months of not seeing each other. Like, that shit is nuts. I was like, we know where y'all going. But here,
I ain't gonna
Dang.
lie. I've been that person to throw away a bag full of socks and
Oh.
underwear in
Yeah.
the airport. Like,
because you could always go commando, not clothes.
Because you could, no matter
Boom,
where you're
jams
at,
all
you
day.
could buy socks and underwear.
Yeah.
I have left bags of that shit in hotel rooms. Like, no joke.
I don't need this right here.
I know. I got one pair for the ride home. We're good. Rest of it staying. I got to get under 50 pounds.
Good times. Now, the crazy thing about work is that now that I've been able to watch people, you get to see the personalities and how intricate and how complicated or mundane or simple they are. And we have people that, you have always got that one guy that talks to everyone, but it's not necessarily talking to everyone for the interest of the work, but it's just talking to everyone to find out things. So I've been the type of person I'll tell that one person something and wait for the loop to close, because I'll only tell him or her. And then it comes back and I'm like, so you're the person I cannot trust. And then you got the people that don't make an opinion about anything. They just say yes to everything. And you can't trust that either, because when shit hits the fan and you need somebody to back you up, they're just going to be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't want an I don't know person in the world. You know what I mean?
know.
Like, I don't know, because like at the end of the day, you want to rely on people about things, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing, then you got the guy that takes an extra long break.
Yeah.
And you know who that person is? I'll take an extra long break.
I'm glad we're all on board.
Yes, but you know why I take an extra long break? Because I am exhausted of doing all the goddamn work
That everybody
Because
else should be doing.
that everybody else should do.
Yep.
And the politics about work goes a little something like this. Let's say you got 100 people working at a spot. It's statistically, only 10% of that workforce will do the job that actually makes a difference. You have the people that go at their pace, but doesn't really make a difference. They do things like walk across the warehouse to get shrink wrap when there was shrink wrap right here on the floor next to them. Like those kinds of people,
Lollygagging.
you're there for a real reason, was just collect the paycheck, and you're there just for a quota. Whatever the quota is, you're just there because we just need a warm body to do something.
Yeah.
I'm also not mad at those people.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, because they get things, but you
Hey.
gotta get them in a timely manner. Like if you got a
Yeah.
fucking 30,000 square foot fucking
Or
warehouse,
I should say,
Just-
I don't blame these
Just
people.
don't
Sure,
make
there you
it
go.
inconvenient for me.
Right.
That's all that
There
I'm
we go. Boom.
asking.
and now here's what happens. And this is in any setting. This is in any setting. You can put it in a warehouse, office, stores. You have, when you go to Walmart, 10% of the workforce, and I'm using that example because a lot of times we complain about the workforce in Walmart,
Right.
but then you get to meet that one person one time that you go that's running around everywhere, opening all the cages because everything's locked up. And I'm like, you're that 10%.
See, what I think is, damn, you're new.
You're so
haven't learned
funny.
yet.
You've only been here for 4 months,
You
and then
haven't
you're gonna
learned.
be dead. Like in
You're
8 months,
still
you're
on.
gonna cuss me
You're
out.
still on probation. They'll fire you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? And so the way that how that works is that when you're dealing with that, even me, like when I was leading or supervising, I didn't have the time to really look at how that was and how that worked. And then you start to notice people bickering. Like, the passive aggressive joking around, but somebody's ego is actually getting hurt on the other end. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I
fucking
remember. I
crazy.
remember
I
those
don't-
days.
I don't-
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
It was
I
crazy.
remember those
Look,
days.
I'm too sensitive.
Of having
Yeah.
to watch all that
I'm like,
shit go
don't-
down.
play
I'm
with me
like,
like that.
fam, like ain't nobody making fun of you. We're just
Look,
trying to
yeah.
live out here.
I'm too sensitive. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know. I'm a jokester, right? Like I play around a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I take it back a lot, but sometimes like when people go too deep, I'm like, damn fam, you're gonna make me take this shit personal.
Yeah,
Like,
but see, my jokes, but he's
like-
seen me at work. Like,
Yeah.
my jokes are very superficial. Like, I'll be like,
yeah.
hi, my name is Miles, and I like avocado toast.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's
yeah.
motherfuckers will get fucking, like, pet peeved
Upset.
about that. I'm like, fam, that's not, it's
Oh,
avocado
that's
toast.
hell of annoying.
At the same time, we've worked with a person that would be the one walking over to get the shrink wrap when it's right there, but then forgetting to get something else and having to walk back.
Right.
And
Just an asshole.
he would
all
get
around.
all butthurt because we'd both call him out. Like, dude, we know you're just
Yeah.
like looking
Yeah.
busy. We understand.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
We've been
Like,
there, done that.
Yeah,
Like, being
exactly.
a protected class doesn't give you an excuse to be a fucking lazy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and like me and him would take, like, when I was smoking, me and him would take smoke breaks, like, every what, hour, say the least.
Well, I was the fucking boss. I did whatever the hell I wanted.
But the way we did it is like, okay, we were cooking,
I
we're literally
was,
cooking
yeah,
stuff, right?
yeah.
So we had our time frames to do things,
Yeah.
and we did things efficiently.
Yeah.
Like, my breaks are long because we do more than most people do in 3 days in about an hour.
I feel
Like,
you.
we're those
I
kinds of
feel
people.
you. I'm
know what I mean?
honestly the same exact way at work right now, but I work with just a whole bunch of people, right? Like
Yeah.
you just don't see me and I'm just comfortable behind the scene. But when I get like my metric, we all get metrics, right? And it's
Yeah.
not like it's hard to freaking hit them, but like I'm not saying who I work for. I'm just
But you're
kidding.
that 10%.
But no, because
No?
no, wait, the 10% of what?
The
Good
mix,
workers.
The work. Like,
Oh yeah,
you're-
that does the work, and my
Yeah.
scores, my
Yeah.
everything all around is hella high, and
Yeah.
I like look at other people like, what the fudge nuts? Like
Yeah.
I totally want to like not. I need to. Do
Right.
I need to slow down? Because I will.
Yeah.
Like, why am I the only one that's hella high?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? And I try, dude. I swear to God, I try to slow down. Like, can you show me what you're doing? Like,
Yeah.
dude, and not to snitch on myself or anything, but I truly feel like I just bullshit all day, and I just be sitting there and
But the job is done.
doing my way more done than freaking anybody else
Yeah.
would get it. It's nuts. And
Yeah.
then I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, so what are you guys
Yeah.
doing? you know,
Well,
and
you know,
I'm not
for me,
trying
like,
to be a
I'll be,
snitch.
like, he
I'm not
knows,
gonna
like,
tell on you.
I'll be walking around singing, like, for 8 hours, like, literally singing, saying
And
some
it's
dumb
so
shit.
annoying at 6:30
Yes.
in the morning, and
Yes.
you walk in and he's
But-
already singing.
But it's the job done.
Yeah,
And the perception is,
He's
oh,
like,
this,
it gets everybody up, huh?
and then this motherfucker, then people are like, wait a minute, nothing good. And then, like, now, I'll be like, wait, why is this motherfucker happy and walking around singing and we're all here stressed out? Yeah,
Yeah.
because I did what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because I'm not I'm not worried about the job that you're doing anymore. Now I'm
Yeah.
just watching you for who you are as a person. You know what I mean? So since we have guests and you guys
What about
chose
you guys?
this. What about you guys?
Well, I'm gonna
what are
say
the
this too real
politics?
quick because
Okay,
you
what?
were there for this one. So you know how you're at a job and there's that cat that works really hard and for some reason he's always getting the extra breaks, blah blah blah. I told the whole staff this that I am going to treat you all fairly, but I'm not going to treat you all equal. You all do not perform equally. So that cat
I
that
got like 5 breaks.
that cat that says like, "Hey, can I go home early?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it, go ahead."
Show did.
It's because he got more than you done already. Like,
Exactly.
That's
so
true.
Get
I
there at
straight up
6,
laid it to
reporting by
all
8.
of them. Like, I will treat y'all fairly, but I ain't treating you all equal.
Exactly.
Like,
I
you
mean, what was
gotta.
our time frame? Get there at 6, pouring by 8. We did that. I did by myself.
I would schedule him at 6 so I could come in at 8.
And that was pouring by the time he got there, which that's impossible because to do the first part,
Well, it's not
you need 2
impossible,
people.
right?
Well, not because, we
Right.
third world country shit. We do different things.
Period.
You know what I mean? But anyways, go back to y'all before
Period.
2 hour
Sorry,
homework.
yeah.
But yeah, what kind of politics have, because you guys are in a whole different realm.
Yeah, there's all kinds of politics.
All
in
kinds
that
of
realm.
things. But what kinds of politics do you guys, even between y'all, you know what I mean? Like, what you guys got to differentiate the jobs and see each other like at work. So how does that work?
I say one of the biggest things that kind of like gets on our nerves is I'd say just the way that like vendors treat us when they find out like who we are.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like we'll go into stores, no type of respect. People won't talk to us, or even we'll go to like another flea market and they'll just like start talking to us like we're just like I don't know, just not even like paying attention to them. Like
Yeah.
they don't even care. And then once we say like, oh, like we run this, we run that, it's like just ass kissing the whole time.
Yeah.
Like that's what gets on my nerves.
So they treat you better once they find out who you
Yeah.
are.
When they
That's crazy.
when they feel they can get something
right.
from them.
That's crazy shit. We kind of get that sometimes.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Yep, it is annoying.
How
I
about
agree.
you?
I would say when we have to do the, accept you're in our market, whatnot, it's the people who don't get accepted into the market that kind of come at us and are like, well, we were at the last market or we're the best at this. And it's like, you didn't get accepted. Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
we had this
that's- yep.
conversation on
We
the
have to. I
last
was
show.
telling y'all, yeah. But it's a different kind of politics because now you're dealing with your business.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So that's nuts. Because Marty said that, you dealt with that.
Yeah,
And,
it's very
yeah.
common, and I think right now people are really just trying to get back into like the world and vending. But there's only like last episode I mentioned that some of the vendors it's like super overwhelming at this point.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's like I can't even respond to the questions of being like how can I participate because I do know that the other vendors
Right.
that follow the instructions, are getting
Yeah.
they're gonna get picked because they were
Absolutely.
able to follow the instructions.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I try my best like to follow up with people like say, hey, because it's a one man team. I do freaking everything and it's hard as hell. So
Yeah.
when I am like following up with people on Instagram, it's like a couple of days later and I'm like, sorry, but the way that they approach me is like, hey, I signed up for this. How are they getting accepted or how do I, and I'm just like, the instructions say that it's for
Yeah.
future events, it's
Yeah.
not for this event. And so I feel the same way. People get very, I would say passionate, but sometimes it's like not professional.
I was going to just
Yeah,
where
it's
there's
just
a
not
professional
professional.
way to approach that.
Yeah.
And that's been always my thing. Hey,
Yeah.
Marty, I'm just following up. See
Yep.
if you pick people for XYZ month. If not, no worries. But it'd be cool to come
Yeah.
sell shit at your event.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's simple. Like, and I guess it's kind of unfair when I talk because I've been on both ends of it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I am a vendor, but at the same time, I've been on the other end and helping
Yeah.
host and the tomato stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like my perspective is different.
Completely
Where
skewed,
I'm
yeah.
there
It's
to
a little different.
participate in your guys' event.
Yeah.
If I'm chosen, lucky me. If not, then hey, maybe next time keep a good friendly relationship. And maybe
Yeah.
Yeah.
it'll happen down the road.
Yeah.
Now,
Like,
you guys are obviously young folk, but have you guys had a regular job or this is like straight up just
I say for me, it's been mostly on the creative side of things.
Dope.
I go to college for journalism and marketing.
tight?
So it's kind of, I say what I usually try to do. I try to find two different things and make sure like they blend together, but make sure
Okay.
it's new. And that's how we kind of push our marketing the way that we do it here.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's been so successful like early on.
Yeah.
But I think majority of the stuff is just basically like I'm counting on myself to like produce it. So it's
Right.
like it's kind of really hard like if I'm just competing against myself.
Yeah. That could be a thing. That's the politics within yourself.
but
Damn, we
almost
just
more,
went in
but
deep.
almost more motivation at the same time because you're competing with yourself to strive and do better.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, definitely.
succeed. So
Dope.
Sure.
it's different than trying to be in that rat race because
Yeah.
it's you trying to be better.
No, yeah, literally.
Do
Yeah.
you guys have your own? I know this is relevant to the business ethics,
Yeah.
but do you guys have your own like lanes that you guys take care of basically, and like you're just strong at?
Yeah. I would say he does more of
She
the.
jumped in way too quick, fam. We gotta argue about this when we turn this thing off.
Gosh. Sorry, go ahead. When we get
I
to
would
the-
say he does a lot of the marketing, a lot of stuff like that, because he has experience in it,
Yeah.
and so he does that. That's kind of I let him just do that. He's better at it. So I'll respond to the vendors here and there, and then he kind of controls like the Instagram and like we should do this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do that. So
Yeah.
I think it's we both have our own lanes
Yeah.
that we're good at. So
That makes sense.
Dope.
That's dope.
That's awesome. So the business ethic part of my question was like that obviously where you just said that works super well for you guys just to like kind of just take care of it on your own. You guys both know what you guys are strong at and it just works fluently.
That's tight.
Awesome.
Now, I will end my rant this way. Listen, folks, no matter which way you swing it, man, provide to the situation. Don't live your life or perform at the look of your paycheck every other Friday. Perform because you have pride in your work. Perform because, like in the military, you're doing it for the person next to you. At the end of the day, if you're making somebody's day harder just by being present, you're not doing it right. You know what I mean? And that's work politics. And that was my rant of the day. Miles wants to say something. What do you want
You
to say?
left out one part though.
What part?
You forgot to affirm to people that yes, if you work hard, your boss will favoritize you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
They might not give you a bonus.
I mean,
or
that's
They
why
may not pay
it's
you
crazy
more, but
because I'm planning our Christmas party for this year coming up. Like, it's fucking crazy, right? Like,
Oh, it's about to be fun.
it's fire as hell. Like, I got a big ass budget, and he was like, "Yeah, man, go ahead. You take care of the whole We Are Sacramento thing." He was like, "Oh yeah, no, I see what you guys do." So we're planning a fucking Christmas party, big ass budget. Shout out to Trevor, thank you, man, appreciate it. Hey,
Sponsored by.
Bye, let's go. But you know what we got up next is Boss
Trevor.
Talk with Trevor. Yeah.
Shout out to
Mr.
you, Trevor. It's
Hamid.
going to be a great time.
Yes, sir.
Great time.
Yeah. And you know what we got up next?
We got
You. It's definitely you. Boss,
Boss
Talk
Talk.
with.
I
It's
knew
Boss
it was
Talk
me,
with.
but why did I think that you were supposed to intro?
because we
Boss
usually
Dog,
do, and he's changing
with-
shit up,
Did
and
he
it's all
just change it up?
Yes,
I'm confused.
I
yes.
kinda did on you.
With Boss Talk, with Boss Ass Marty.
And
Yeah.
then we usually go boo, boo,
I don't know.
and then-
It
Oh, you
was
know why? Because
confusing.
I don't have the headphones and I got to clap.
See?
I don't know. Something was
All
off.
screwed
Something
up
was
over
off.
here.
I was like, okay, well, so look it. My computer hates this studio.
It does. It's true.
Okay, it just like completely turned off right before my segment.
Tight.
But we're here and we'll see if it pops back up. So my segment, Boss Talk, is we talk about a whole bunch of stuff, bullshit around the world. Sometimes it's actually very relevant and like really good information, like the news.
Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll talk about this. So I have an event coming up. I don't know why I haven't really been talking about it. It just came up.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's all over social media there. Every time I turn on Instagram,
There we
That's
go.
true.
I'm expecting
I'm
women
doing
twerking, and I'm not. All I see is boss talk. I mean, boss made by women,
Okay,
and
I
I'm
love
like,
to hear it.
tight.
Yep. I love
It's
that.
dope.
That means I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
High five.
High fives
Bam.
only. Bam.
Okay.
Oh, wait, for real, for real.
So Made by Women is coming up. We have there's 22 vendors.
Damn.
Yeah, fam. I don't know. Don't ask me. There's 22 vendors. There's 3 performers going to be out there. We have some awesome stuff from obviously tacos. I love some tacos.
Doesn't?
We have a zero proof sober bar. We have
So there's
sweets,
no
we
real
have
drinking
clothes,
happening?
We have, no. We have clothes. We have a whole bunch of different creatives, makers, and of course, we have the performances, which are going to be from Stuck in a Tree. We have Keith and Mahal. And we also have our girl, Callie Khalifa. And if
saw
you
that.
guys, I'm like so excited.
That's awesome.
They're all, oh my gosh, all 3 of these artists
Tight.
are like amazing. They're all super passionate of what they do. They're just freaking cool. So we got Mia Aesthetics going to be doing our
Yeah.
setup and our aesthetic for Made by Women. So the little stage lounge area is going to be done by her. And then we have, again, a whole bunch of boss ass women going to be in
Yeah.
attendance, along with the boss ass men that are going to be
That are coming
supporting
up.
them.
The drones coming
Yes,
out.
what
The
the fuck?
cameras coming out.
Yes.
I'm dropping my mixtape.
Period.
Yeah.
He's gonna dance.
I love that
Yeah.
you guys laugh when I say my mixtape.
Yeah.
This is a real thing. This is
Yeah.
happening.
He's been planning it for about a year now, guys.
No, it's like
He's
20
been planning it for
years.
about
Longer
8
than that.
years.
Yeah. Okay. So honorable mention to Gabe. Gabe has been introducing the dopest artists ever, right? And he just recently had an episode with, and don't tell me what it's about because I haven't listened to it yet.
Okay.
But I don't
Graffiti.
Godfeedy.
The Rembrandt of
Okay.
fucking
Bro.
Godfeedy.
graffiti. Like,
Yes.
he is.
I had to get his name
I
right.
gave it to Miles. You should look that guy up. He
Um,
is so fire.
So he posted a photo. I'm going to show you guys this photo.
That photo looked like a photo.
Yep.
First, it looked like a photo.
Like you'll see it.
And second,
It made no sense. It's redundant, but
First-
it looked like a photo.
yeah, it looked like a photo. And second, it was the most emotional photo that
Which
I
one?
have ever seen in my
Oh
life.
yeah.
I see that.
Oh,
photo.
sorry. It was emotional.
That looks like a
Oh,
fucking
that's a
and
painting.
painting?
I'm gonna
That's a
explain
painting,
it too.
bro.
And so this photo is a man. His arm is dangling down while his mom is
Oh,
holding
yeah.
it. This is how I took it. His mom is holding the son. that basically just had an overdose. He had a needle stuck in his arm, or like a heroin needle or whatever
Yep.
poison he had stuck in his arm. And it seemed like he obviously just passed or something, and his mom was holding him. And like, whoa, when I seen
Yeah.
this on Gabe's page, I was like, damn, what the hell? And so I was sitting on it for a little bit, right? And then I got home, and those who kind of heard episodes in the previous past know that I kind of experienced the addiction life with just personal and close people. So that kind of hit home, and that was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck, Oh my
Yeah.
God. It totally reminded me of my grandmother, and like,
Yeah.
and it just was like too close to home. And so I actually took a screenshot of it and I sent it to my mom and was like, look at this, like, look how emotional this is, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, I was not expecting to see that. She was like, so many emotions. Like, she took everything that I was thinking and just basically texted it to me, like, so
Yeah.
many emotions. And like, that's so like painful for anybody that has to have experienced such things, right? And
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things where you're like, damn, like, back to the art part of it. He had painted something so emotional, so realistic, in my opinion, that I just needed to give them both a shout out on this because
So I'm not even gonna tell you about the story about him. You just gotta listen to it. And it's crazy.
is it here on? Is it against that? I mean, is it for that photo, that
It's-
image, that painting?
Yeah,
Sorry.
like it's pretty fire. Like,
Okay, I gotta
and he
listen.
explains how he does this.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that I think it's a matter of like, I mean, art is subjective, right? Like it's got to touch. There's a premise to art individually. Like it's not gonna touch the masses, but I think that kind of painting.
Totally
is
my
just,
mom.
Right, like it totally does something to and on the general consensus. You know what I mean? Like those kinds of things can change people's
Yeah.
perspective on addiction.
Yeah.
Because when you think of somebody like dying from overdose, you blame them and you criminalize them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas like fam, like dealing with your demons should not be illegal.
Yeah.
Like the doing illegal shit is a byproduct of you dealing with your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And in that photo, I just seen so much love, so much emotion, so much
like no judgment, right? Like the
Yeah.
mom is just loving her son,
Yeah.
dead or alive.
like what the fuck?
Yeah.
All through all his faults and all his, whatever you call it, demons.
And
you
so,
know?
like, as a recovering addict, when you're in it, you don't realize what it's doing to the survivors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, like, your addiction doesn't just affect you. And unfortunately, you don't really realize this. You're caught up in your addiction that you don't realize that if you were to pass, that's your grandma, that's your mom, that's
Yeah.
your sister, that's Rochelle, that's Mario. So, it's,
Yeah, I'll whoop your
look,
ass.
you don't realize it in that moment, but trust me, like, it is worthwhile getting clean, getting sober, getting
Yeah.
whatever the hell you want to call it, because that moment that you realize it is so special, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Agreed.
Like, it's just so special to know that you have all of these people to basically have your back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, support is a hell of a
Dang.
thing.
Yeah, that I don't
Yeah.
know. That was a good one though. Shout out to Gabe. This is why
Gabe.
you're coming on the show, because
Yeah.
you need to know what you're doing right now in
It's
the world.
appreciated.
Yeah.
Well, what I told him is that he's creating a platform without him. I think he realized like everything that's happening, and once you start to realize that you created a platform, like even like yourselves, creating a platform is your passions become the people you're helping.
Yeah.
Not even like my photography has taken a complete backseat
Hell yeah.
to everything that we do because it's like, well, shit. Unless it has to do with the beer, I don't really shoot it. You know what I mean? And so it's the passion and like the thing with him. With Gabe's got a hustle that most people don't have.
Yeah.
That dude, like, we have conversations that are just fucking amazing in the sense of like, where I'm learning. Like, he doesn't even know that I'm learning from him
Yeah.
because he thinks he's learning from me. You know what I mean? He's such a dope dude, so he's definitely gonna be a host, and he definitely
same. Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely has to be here. He's just he's building
Right
things
time.
right now.
Look.
The timing,
Look,
you know what I mean?
It's gonna be
But
a
yeah.
good one though. Okay, so now, let's get back to the bullshit. Okay, my bad. All right, that was getting deep. So here are some fun facts that I got for you guys.
Yes.
These are real ass facts. Sometimes they're unbelievable.
They are, man. They
But-
are. Continue.
This got me messed up.
Yeah,
When
I don't
a
believe them
Hawaiian-
always.
When a Hawaiian woman wears a flower over her left ear, it means that she is not available.
Oh my God, I knew it. She's a heathen.
Did you know
I
that?
freaking-
Heard
Excuse
something of
me.
that. A friend of
No,
mine used
she
to
has
do
from
that.
on them now.
No, yeah, no, just playing. You knew that?
A friend of mine used to do
Damn,
that. Yeah.
what the hell?
Wait,
We used
so
to
wait.
do that like we would know what it is.
So where's the
No, I'm
flower
just
at?
kidding.
Supposedly,
It's on her left ear.
You know how many women wear flowers all the time?
Yeah, I don't think that anybody really know. Like I was wearing flowers in my ear,
Fam,
right or left. I don't
Lalo,
know,
if I
but-
see her running around with a flower, I'm gonna have to talk to you. Lalo, Lalo's like, Leandra, Beck, well, you come, you don't have a flower.
it snows metal on planet Venus.
Shut the
That's
fuck
cool.
up. Who's over
We're
there
gonna-
right now
we're
that
gonna
can
do
tell
that.
us?
The space probes called
Yeah, I
whatever
get
they
it.
are
Isn't it
called.
what they don't they say like the space smells like rosemary or like blueberries? Blueberries, right? Like
Look
it
at
has,
this.
because it has the same like I don't
have
know,
no idea.
chemical, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, no
Look it
idea.
up.
So check this out. Scientists have never actually even seen snow fall on Venus.
Exactly.
But
See, they don't know shit.
I said snow.
Oh, but you said it snows metal.
Well, that's a wait. But they have observed metallic frost capping the planet's mountains, according to Discovery News. The frost, believed to be composed of the minerals galenia, whatever, and
We need to go to Venus,
some
not
other
fucking
shit,
Mars.
was first observed as. Why do you want to go there and get hit
Because
by
you can
metal?
like go snow. Oh yeah,
You're
it's
getting
not
hit
snow.
by
Sorry, it's metal. My bad.
Ouch. So how is snowing metal even possible? A professor of Earth planetary science and co-discover says on Venus, the lower atmosphere and surface are hundreds of degrees hotter than the surface of the Earth, and metallic compounds emitted by volcanoes on Venus. I'm saying nothing. I don't know.
You know who's gonna figure out how to get to Venus? Venus is fucking Hispanics.
Elon Musk.
You know why? Hispanics are gonna
Yeah.
do it. No, it's Hispanics because we're gonna figure out how to recycle the shit out of that metal. That's what's gonna happen.
Funny.
Facts. We're gonna.
Shit.
Hey.
You know, I only show up when we have
Yeah.
gas.
Hell
Yeah.
yes.
Listen, we're gonna get there. You're
Oh,
gonna see all
fuck
these
me.
fucking trucks with all the panels, and it's gonna be hella metal floating back to fucking Earth. Let's do it, Federales. Let's go.
Ooh,
Anyways, my bad. Go
no.
ahead.
So I also just seen what
Well
was I
played.
just watching right now? I fucking forgot what I was watching. So I'm gonna give you guys another fact. No one born blind has ever developed schizophrenia.
Huh?
All right.
What?
I
I really don't want to be crazy. Like, fuck, take my eyeball, but you gotta be born.
No,
blind. Born
I'd
blind,
rather go
right?
crazy.
I like being crazy though.
I want to be able to see.
No, I think I'll appreciate life. I could. Okay. I don't want to be crazy.
Yeah, but if you're crazy, people leave you alone.
I don't want to be either, and it's really like I hate that this is a choice right now that we're making. 'Cause
All right,
So
let's make
you,
it a
so
choice.
you would never.
You'd
would
rather
prefer.
be crazy or blind.
Oh, okay.
You would
Well, this
prefer
or that.
to
Go.
not see.
No, don't talk
to
about
not
me.
even know.
What about
no,
you?
no, anybody. I'd rather be crazy than to never know what a blue sky looks like, or only be able to hear what a tree looks like, or what the color red is, or what white is,
Okay.
what square looks
So
Why
like.
it gotta be white, Miles?
first,
Any
we
color.
gotta stop saying crazy. First, let's stop going
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
First
Being
of all.
schizophrenic.
Yes.
I would rather be schizophrenic than blind all day.
I mean, it depends. I don't know.
Leandra,
hard
what
one.
would you rather? What would you rather in?
I would rather be schizophrenic.
Let's go. Spoken like a true Latina right there. That's
you,
half
would,
white.
you would only know
I just
what
don't
a
get why
picture-
you would want to be blind. Like
I
don't
don't want to be
understand.
either. I don't want to be either. But I have experienced a couple people that, or I do know a couple people that have schizophrenia.
As
and,
do I.
And I don't. I just see a lot.
I would.
And
I
I
will.
just don't know. And I feel like right now, and I don't want to, like, I don't want to say this because I don't want to, like, wish this upon myself at all. But, like, technology, you can hear stuff. The geniuses are, there's geniuses that are blind.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Agreed.
I don't know. I don't want to be either, though. Please, God.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is that you know what we did is that
Come on.
each cancel each other out, because if you're blind, you're not gonna be a schizophrenic. But if you choose schizophrenic, you automatically see. So we're kind of like canceling every single thing out.
Yeah, it's
Just
just
kinda-
because I don't know.
Both would be crappy
It's
scenarios.
crappy
Both would be
scenarios.
crappy as
okay.
hell. As long as
let's
I
pass
can-
the facts.
As long as I can have mangoes and shit like that, I'm good.
Yeah, mangoes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Mangoes and
I
micheladas,
know.
bro.
Okay,
Like,
I know with my job, like they're a big corporate ass American job, and they freaking, or I don't know about
Fight the
American.
power.
They are very adamant about accessibility and stuff,
Yeah.
and like they are making their devices for accessibility reasons.
We have the
hey,
technology.
big shout out to the fruit
Yeah.
company. that sells things that are amazing.
Yeah, I don't know who
Thank
they
you.
are. Okay, last one. We're gonna do on this day, and then we're gonna move on because we have guests.
And
Are we
this-
playing a game?
God damn it,
Oh,
Marty, we're not playing a damn game.
Yeah, let's play that
Can we
first.
play a
Okay.
game so
okay, guys,
our
has
guests
anybody
can play a
played
game?
Okay, yes. Has anybody played? I usually play games. That's the purpose of my segment. I play games. No, but so
She
have you
opened
guys?
up a can of
I
worms
know,
when she started doing
I know.
it.
I don't know. And now I'm like required to bring a game every time. Like I feel
I'm
like
gonna
it's
quit.
an
We've
icebreaker
quit
thing.
many a times.
Yeah. So, what I'm going to be talking about is, or what we're playing, sorry, is categories.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys familiar with categories?
Never heard of
Okay.
it.
You wanna play?
Pressure.
Hey, big
You're
shout
like,
out
okay.
to big
Yeah,
shout out
first
to
of all-
Josh. Let's go because this is gonna end up. This is gonna end.
Gunshots.
Oh no, wait, I don't have those right now. I don't have those right now.
Okay.
You know, they told me to stop. You know, somebody told me they were listening to our podcast and I put the gunshots in, and they really thought like they had all that shit on hell loud. They're
no.
like, fam, but I mean, they weren't expecting it. I mean,
Okay. So
shell
let me
shocks.
explain how to play categories. So
Yeah, big shout out to
this
Josh
game-
though from City Sounds. Thank you for coming
Yes,
to video our
shout
stuff.
out. Woo, woo,
Soon
thank
you'll
you.
see our pretty faces. You know what I mean?
Yes. This is a long time friend.
Yes.
Look, this is a
Let's
long time
go.
friend. This is look.
Long time
They
friend.
don't know. I'm like, we haven't even had a conversation after the fact.
Man.
It's coming though. Look. Okay, so
Wait,
this
what
is how
the
you
fuck's
guys,
going on? Nah, I'm
Nothing.
just playing.
All right, and
Who we gotta beat
inside.
up? Who we gotta beat up?
Okay, guys, so here's the game. So, categories. I'm going to basically pick a topic, and then I have a list of topics here, right? And a letter. So, every person, so let's say I pick food. Okay, so the category is food. And we'll start off with something that's going to be fairly easy like that. So, I'll say food, and the letter is R. So, I'm going to start off with rice. What are you going to say?
Oh, we're playing?
Yeah, we're just going to do a test demo
Radish.
real quick. Radish.
Well, you said fruit though.
R.
Or food?
Food.
Oh, can I say it in Spanish?
Okay.
Vámonos.
No.
Oh, you said rice already, huh?
I did. He lost. So he lost.
So I
right?
lost.
So basically, it'll go on the
Ravioli.
table,
Okay.
and I'm gonna pick easy ones because we have a lot of people. But when we play three, it goes like back and forth a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do.
I just want to
okay?
point something out though.
Was that? Did I
We
explain
we
that?
have
great?
guests. That was a great explanation, great example. I just want to point them out. We have guests. I just want to let them know because they probably don't know.
They're probably like, when
Yeah.
are we gonna talk?
I am not
Yeah,
from
you
this
know.
country,
Oh,
so. Oh.
fuck.
I mean, I might lose because I'm not from this country. I know half the things you guys know.
He freaking is.
You guys got 13 years in me, like on me. You know
When
what I
you
mean?
guys
like
hear them correct me,
We,
like when
we can't
I'm
figure out a
reading
word.
something.
Monty and I can't figure out
Yeah.
a word. Who do we look at? Like,
because I'm an immigrant, my
Yeah,
education
it
is
is
better.
him. I'm like, how do you? What does this
Been here like
mean?
the same amount of
What does this
time.
mean? For real. Okay, guys. So the first category, I like food. We're gonna do food for right now
So
because
food. I like
obviously
to
it didn't
eat.
get far. So we'll do food. We want to go the other way. All right, food, and the letter is M.
shitty letter. We did that one before.
M&M's.
Ah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
Mashed potatoes.
yeah. Josh,
Macaroni.
yeah,
Mango?
yeah.
Mandarin.
Minced meat.
Oh, that's
Oh.
her. Sorry.
That's
You
her.
got me all
That's
sideways.
Yeah, we're going.
Okay,
I don't
with
know.
an M,
minced
right?
meat is-
Oh, we're going to. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
M.
5, 4, 3, 2,
I don't know.
I don't know what
Alright.
else I would have thought of either, but
But M is a hard one.
yeah.
M is a hard
okay,
one.
so we'll do food again.
Okay.
J.
Fuck. Okay.
Miles.
Jelly bean.
Yay.
Jalapenos.
Oh.
With J.
Jambalaya.
Ooh, that was good.
I'm out. I can't think of it.
You got 5 seconds. 5, 4,
Nah, I can't think of it.
3, 2.
I was gonna say
But I don't think
juice.
that counts.
Wait, what?
I was gonna say Jack's Urban Eats, but
No,
that's
because
like a
that's
place.
a whole
Yeah,
restaurant.
yeah.
That would have been great for a
Hey,
restaurant.
I
though.
would have counted that. That's food.
Jicama.
Jicama. Yeah, I would have counted Jack's. Look, that's my place. That's why. Okay, one more. We're just gonna do B. Go, girlfriend.
Beans.
Ooh.
Burgers.
Broccoli.
Ooh.
Beets.
Bananas.
Bedia.
Um,
What did you say?
Beets.
No.
Broccoli.
Broccoli. That's what
Damn.
Okay.
That's a hard one, B.
I can't think of anything else.
Baked potatoes.
Yeah.
Ooh, somebody likes baked potatoes.
Burritos.
Boba.
Boba.
Why didn't you think of that?
Did anybody say banana?
I
Yeah.
did.
Oh,
Banana. So on me because we literally just skipped everything. But I,
beets.
huh?
Beets.
I said beets.
Okay.
I said beets.
All right. Well, that was
That was
the
a
end of
good
my
one.
game.
Yeah, that was it. Good shit. And
Thanks.
that was Boss Talk with.
Boss ass Wadi. Tell you guys about They Made Women next time.
Yeah, it's coming up. You know what we got up next.
The forgotten
We're not gonna
segment.
forget him. We got guests. We're gonna treat them right. It is the most classiest, most
Ratchetest.
So classy.
episode of this fucking podcast, and it's Ratchet as Sports with.
Mr. Miles Jolly.
Yeah,
Yay, guys.
white chocolate. White
Not
chocolate.
Jason Williams, though.
Not abuelita's chocolate. It's white chocolate.
What you got for us today?
What you got today,
You
fam?
remember how I started last week with that Brittany Griner?
Yes.
All right.
What's
so
up with
well,
her
I just
now?
want to keep that update on her,
They
man.
found. No, did they
They
find?
find her. She's
She
well. I
was in
guess she
prison,
could.
right?
Nobody knows the exact location,
Oh.
but supposedly she's
They
had
found her.
contact
That
with the
is
U.S. And Russia said they're keeping her detained till at least mid-May, pending the
Damn.
investigation on.
That's a lot for a little weed.
Supposedly,
It's not that shit is
yeah, so
like
they're trying to say she was smuggling like fucking vape carts and whatnot.
yeah, and the vape carts are a different thing.
Because
Like
that's a processed marijuana,
Yeah.
they consider it hash. So
Was she
it's-
headed to another city in Russia or back from Russia?
She had landed from New York
to Russia.
to Russia.
Oh, she was trying to go play basketball
She's
there.
stupid.
Oh yeah, she's a
Yeah.
dummy.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say that.
But okay, I'm
with
gonna
all well wishes though.
I'm gonna put this in perspective. So she's one of the best WM players. You know, she's gonna be a Hall of Famer. She gets paid $250K playing for the WNBA per season. She gets paid over
pretty good
2
money.
mil playing in Russia per season.
Wait, she's getting paid $2 million to play in Russia?
All just
How,
like
how does
soccer.
this work out?
Because in the United States we don't value women's basketball at all. So
Yeah,
the
that's
So-
true.
the WNBA is seen as a lower class of sports
Wow.
to the powers, I guess, that be in the sports world.
I could tell
So
that they
the
think that.
best player in the quote unquote world of women's basketball gets paid $250K in this country.
So-
to play
So
her
they go
sport.
play
And
overseas,
it's
yeah.
so ironic for me to hear that in Russia they get paid
in almost every other country.
in almost every
they
other
get
country.
paid more.
But you got to
Wow.
think
That-
of the people that own the teams in Russia, though.
Who made this decision? Who's doing this in America? Who can I
Well,
write a letter to?
We can go to the white folk.
I'll write a letter.
Partially
we
the
go with
NBA
status
and the
quo.
peoples that run it. Partial, you know.
Oh.
Good old boys, yeah.
Do you think that?
But,
So
I mean,
I'm like, okay, get this. So a WNBA team, they can't have a private jet. It's against the rules to transport players from city to city to play games.
but the man can.
The men can, and the reason the
I'm
WNBA
confused.
doesn't allow it is because not all the teams can afford it. So if your team happens to be able to afford it, they feel it gives you an unfair advantage of being able to fly your own plane. So they force everybody to charter flights. The New York Liberty just were fined.
Lalo is like perplexed right
It's
now. He's
fucking-
like, what?
The New York Liberty were just fined 6 figures plus because the owner let the team use
Oh,
his
no.
his
Oh, I
own
just saw
personal
that.
private jet to fly to an away game.
I'm gonna look this up.
It's crazy.
Banana. So that's
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 nuts.
I need
that's how
quality in
WNBA
WNBA.
is considered in this country. So when,
Yeah.
but so and
Wow.
then they're trying to say also that because she's lesbian, that's also a reason Russia is keeping her.
Because Russia don't they have a law against being a
That's- yeah.
homosexual?
What?
there's
Yep.
Russia has a law against being an outed.
This is so weird
Like,
to
you
me.
can't
Do you
be
see how
out.
contradicting this shit is right now?
But it's communism. That's the whole point.
That's
like,
what I'm saying,
So when you
like,
think
what
of
the
China,
hell?
China is on the same realm. That's why they monitor everything. Even TikTok, you can't say certain things. Like you can't say sex. You gotta say like sex when
Waitus.
yeah. Or sex, like you gotta spell it with a G.
Fornication.
Yeah, like eggs, you know, or like
Says-
you can't
Online?
say you can't on TikTok. You
Is
can
that why they do that?
that's why you can't put porn stars, you gotta put P in the star.
I thought it was the new thing.
No, they do that on purpose because then they'll monitor it. So it's crazy shit. Like
from
China,
from over there. Yeah,
like China,
Yeah.
like Chinese,
Wow.
Chinese movie makers, they'll have like homoerotic movies, but it's like this. They'll just have like two men in the scene looking at each other.
Longingly.
No, like yeah, like
Yeah.
and then the song, but they'll approve it because they're not having actual,
Physical contact.
which is crazy.
That's not
that
okay.
those
Yeah.
things, but that's why when people look, we neglect communism. It's not because
Wow.
of the idealism of it. It's just everything else that comes along with it. Because a lot of it has to do. We talked about it. Politics outside of the United States has to do with culture, not politics
Right.
itself, which
Right.
is crazy as fuck.
Yeah, that's so nuts. I can't
Yeah.
even, it's hard to think. So can I put numbers to your statement?
Absolutely.
So the average salary of an NBA player is 7.7 million in the
Male.
WNBA. Yeah, so and the WNBA is closer to 75,000. So the female athletes are making about 1% of their salaries of the salaries of their male counterparts.
Yep.
Fuck the system.
Yeah.
No,
So we
I'm
have,
Seriously,
we have a, we have a
100%.
listen. We have a 21-year-old
I don't like
young
it.
lady here. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think about all that? Like, because
Talk
you're
to us, girl.
you're a different generation. Like, you're like we were supposed to fix that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it didn't. So, what is that like now navigating all of that?
I play sports as well. I play softball at CRC right now.
Nice.
Oh
So
shit.
I'm,
Okay.
Whoa, whoa.
Nah,
Okay.
holla.
so
So
I'm
woo.
in the world of it. But for the WNBA, I also think that they don't give it enough props. You know, they don't put it on
In the
media.
States,
they
for
don't.
sure.
They
Yeah.
don't really do that. So of course they're not going to have as many viewers or as much money as the NBA. They don't glorify it like they
Yeah.
do the NBA.
That's true.
So
Or
it's-
even the abilities of these women, like they
Yeah.
do
Right.
in the NBA.
Now, I will talk about a movie that was loosely based on my life, and it's Love and Basketball.
I'm dead.
And there was a scene where she
The
goes to,
basketball scene.
yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like where we play for keeps. You know what I mean? It happened,
All
but it was like
romantic.
soccer. You know what I mean? But listen,
Okay.
there was a scene where she's like, I think playing in Italy or Spain, where she travels overseas, and she's like, they're like, well, why do you want to be here? Like, I miss my family. We're like, well, they treat us like kings and queens over here. And it's like, I don't see why we can't do that. Even like talent that hasn't made it to the NBA here. Like, look at Marbury. He ended up going to, I think, Japan or
A lot of older
China,
cats
and,
do. Yep, once
and he
they-
was like, I'm not going back to New York. Like, I'm just gonna retire here. And they treat you different. You know what I mean? Even baseball in Japan, it's fucking crazy
Like
how
your
they.
celebrities.
Yeah, like I mean, like they revere you. Like they're not.
That's interesting.
And like they're respectful.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they're respectful. Here in the States, we're not respectful to the people we supposedly look up to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's crazy stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, we treat them like entertainers.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of see them as entertainers. Sorry.
I mean,
the athlete.
That is what the realm of their business is.
And then who-
sports,
Right.
it's not called
And I don't
sports.
see
It's called
anything
sports
wrong
and
with it.
entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So what do they see them as? Like out of the country?
I mean, obviously, it's entertainment, but
They
they're
re-
very respectful of them
Of
and
their
what
talent.
they provide.
Is it like
yeah.
a celebrity
So a-
Yeah.
respect? Yeah.
Regardless of gender, it seems like a star athlete is a star athlete.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like,
Like-
no, not everybody gets treated like Jordan, right? Like here, Jordan, you can't say shit about
That's
Jordan
worldwide.
unless you're arguing about fucking right.
There's not, but remember how we talked about Kobe? There's not many athletes that transcend the world like Kobe
Right.
did, like Jordan does, like
Yeah.
Messi, like
Yeah.
Ronaldo. Like so,
This is true.
there's those athletes that just transcend and captivate everybody.
Rikishi.
Rocky. I mean, he
Yeah,
used to twerk on dudes. I don't know how that
I don't
even
know.
made it,
He's
but
legendary.
yeah,
True.
Rikishi, that's just crazy. That's my best friend's cousin. I said, bro.
You did say that last
Yeah.
when she brought him up.
Yeah,
That was
that's
my favorite fighter. Like that was the best.
that's my best friend.
Are you
That's
a
my best
wrestler?
friend's cousin, and they clown him like, bro, why you twerking on dudes?
but
But he was like,
I
bro,
get
like
paid,
he's getting
Luke.
paid millions. He's like, I'm gonna twerk on dudes.
yeah,
Ew, that's
Go
disgusting.
for it.
Ew.
Sweaty ass. Anyways, moving on. Just
Sorry, Miles.
I
So this
wanted
is why
to-
it's ratchet ass sports.
because we end up on sweaty ass. We're talking about some Brittany Griner stuff, like trying to make sure she gets her ass home, and we end on sweaty ass. So that's how we do on Ratchet Ass Sports. But
Ew.
you ever think, on a side note to that, you brought up some baseball. You ever think baseball is probably one of the wonkiest like sports ever?
Explain wonk, like why you saying wonk.
I'm gonna get into that. So
I'm not from this
Because it
country.
takes hella long to get to the
oh
point.
god,
No.
right? Okay. And I played baseball and I love
I
baseball.
know.
But okay. So example, you go to an NBA game in any stadium. What is the one thing that will be uniform between all stadiums regardless?
Hot dogs.
No.
The food. Oh. This,
And and this could
this
be football.
thing.
You go in any football stadium. What is the one thing that will match?
What is that one thing called?
The
The
logo.
no. What
The
is
court,
it?
the field.
court.
The
Yeah,
field,
yeah.
not the
Okay.
court.
So go to any baseball stadium,
Sorry.
and part of the actual field, there is
Oh.
only one part that matches, and that's the
Ah.
actual diamond.
Diamond home
Got it.
base.
The actual infield.
Yeah.
The diamond part, that's the only part that is consistent with field to field. Left field can be a different length between the field. You can have a hill
Oh, I
in
see.
center field.
Oh.
Right.
You can have
I see what you're saying.
like so there.
Oh, so only the dirt has to be the
Yeah,
same.
only the infield.
Why would one
Why?
make
What is?
hills
How
in-
is this?
Because
How
a
is
throw from left field to home is not as detrimental as the throw from third to first.
so? So
Did I
from
just
home
say that
plate
right
to
as an
first,
immigrant? Fuck
essentially.
yeah.
But why? So you're in San Francisco, okay? For
Always,
example,
let's go.
that field is built that way on purpose
Yeah, because we
to
fuck shit up.
accommodate the location. So the only thing between any field that baseball requires match is the actual diamond on the infield, the fence height, the all that. There's a minimum, but they're arbitrary. That's why Boston can have that huge left field fence,
And the wall, the big ass wall.
and there's a minimum on distance. So it can be 325 is the minimum unless your field was built before that rule, and then
Oh, come on.
then
what
your
do they
Hella-
call
grandfather
the
did.
green
Hella
wall in
restri-
Boston?
Green monster.
The green monster.
So-
Makes sense.
So
It
wait,
just
so what you're
boggles
saying
my
is
mind. There's no standard
okay.
to the field
So
minus
if
the infield.
there's a wall from at the very end that you were talking about, like that one tall ass wall. If a ball hits it, obviously it's not going to be a home run,
Correct.
right? Or would they just
But
consider
in San
it a
Francisco,
home run?
would like a home run in Boston wouldn't be. It's
A
like
home run
farther.
in San Francisco,
Yeah,
for
like, it's
example.
just, yeah,
Yep.
it's crazy shit.
So, okay. So there's
So,
just it's just the
there's a
length.
difference,
It's
yeah.
how far it goes rather than does it go over the fence?
Yeah.
For example, the old Yankee Stadium had a super short right field. So what did they stack up on? Power hitting left-handed batters who could hit the ball out of right field because
Yeah,
it
they
was
had
shorter.
called me one time and I told them I couldn't go.
It's true.
Yeah,
You're
real
saying-
shit.
It was
Real
time
talk.
printer. Yeah. So it's just that
Interesting.
that boggles my mind. And mind you, they're the only legal monopoly in this country. The United States
Baseball.
government allows Major League Baseball to operate as a monopoly.
Almost like they did the NCAA for a really long time.
Essentially, until recently, the NCAA was under the table allowed. Major League
Interesting.
Baseball is grandfathered into being allowed to operate the way they operate. So if you notice,
That's ratchet as hell.
there is nothing in this country that is baseball related that is not associated to Major League Baseball. So AAA, single A, double A, every level international draft, all that's controlled by MLB. There is no other organization.
Could we give Miles an assignment?
Yeah.
Could you look into the rules of the field in Japan? Because that's where the next big market on baseball.
I believe
and
it's
see
the
what that
same.
is.
I think it's still the 90 feet, the 60 feet, 6 inches from pitcher's mound to home plate, and then the 90 feet between the bases.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look to see if there's standard
Yeah.
rules for fences, though.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit. I call bullshit on that. I'm
I
just
do
saying.
too.
I love baseball, but I call
You
bullshit.
get one of these, man.
Yeah.
Because I love baseball. I love to watch people and play.
Bullshit.
On the
tight.
fields?
All right, I'm gonna close out though with this. So I went over to Arco. They closed it.
Oh.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of sad at first for about
Right.
a minute or two. No, God, no. it was kind of
Why
sad.
not,
No,
cuz?
I know. You
I'm
weren't
not that
sad.
attached to the
You weren't
building,
that sad.
but it was kind of sad walking up and seeing it all. Like, if you ever wonder what the apocalypse is going to look like, go ahead and go to Arco Arena and just look at the parking lot.
Why?
It's covered in
Damn.
grass.
Really?
Like, so you know how there was that, like, the pathways
Yeah.
for the parking lot, like the parking spaces, grass
Just
coming up through
everywhere.
the cracks, through the cement.
Interesting.
Like the signs that say like ticket office, they're all overgrown and weeds.
All I heard
and
is
stuff.
nature would thrive.
So it just looked like it was just, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they let that poor place go. So it's great. Like going like
well-
seriously, there's chains that are supposed to block off like cars coming in. They're all falling and
I
things
mean,
like.
they better not be
it's
using our
dope.
tax money to go do
No,
go
that's
clean up
part
the
Kings
abandoned.
own, Kings
The
own that building.
The Kings own it.
Oh.
Yeah, all that
Flat out,
property.
yeah.
They could have really did something with that.
Hey, I
they're
was
turning
in
it
there
into
with
North
Rochelle
State
and-
Hospital.
Yeah, I was
And
in there
meds-
with Rochelle.
and
That was
medical
scary
school.
as hell.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I had mentioned to all the listeners if you want to come say hello, I'll be there. But so I didn't go down to the regular
Oh.
tour and wait in line with
Oh,
all
because
those
you're not
other
regular.
folks.
That's why we're not regular.
So
out
I
here.
was like,
we
did
went up.
somebody go?
We went up to the third floor and like looked around all the offices and whatnot, where Man in the Box used to have his,
Oh.
or Man in the Bubble used
Man
to
in the
have
bubble.
his,
We got a man in the bubble. Let's go.
his offices up there. And dude, it straight looks like people just abandoned the building. Like the
Really?
cubicles are all set up still.
And
So, like,
there was hella memorabilia when we went. They left it. Like they
That's-
just left it.
Like, I
And
was
that's
like,
what
can
we-
we take this?
Yeah.
and that's part of the reason we went up to third floor is
Yeah.
because I could take, whatever I wanted. So
Oh.
yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff up there. Yeah,
Maybe
the-
we mentioned that the chairs that we're sitting on right now
Can't,
are
yep.
are from
Floor.
there.
So these
Floor
are these are all these
So
are all
Mike
Michael
Beebe-
yeah.
Jordan
Mike
are
Beebe
all-
might have
yeah.
sat
Oh,
here.
Chris
Kobe
Webber.
might.
Yep.
sat in this.
So yeah,
Yeah.
these are the old
Yeah.
floor seats for and the
Yes.
player
And there's
seats
still
from
gum under
Arco.
these seats.
Um,
There's still gum under here. It's pretty
but
tight.
so like there's
Ew.
still like
That's gross.
like
Yeah,
the
it is, but it's
concession
tight.
booths, the concession cart
My
type
baby's
things.
gone.
All those are
Yes.
still up there.
Oh, wow.
Um,
So what do they plan to do with those?
it's all gonna get tossed.
That's crazy money.
April 1st is the last day anybody will be able to enter that building.
We need more of these chairs if they're there.
My head is like those things can get donated to people.
And I'm
to,
sure some
like-
of it will, but like
yeah.
all like the banners are still up there. There's
Interesting.
like
They could have an auction.
they
I
were
got
giving
one of the
shit away
old
from-
banners with the
they
old
were
logo.
bringing down like boxes and pallets of stuff from the third floor down and just giving it away.
Oh,
Like
that's
you could go get it and shit like
See,
that.
I
It was
like that
weird.
because San Francisco, they were like charging them an arm and a leg for stuff when
Like
they blew up.
vintage, huh?
Yeah,
So,
when
like-
they blew up Candlestick. Shout out to Sacramento for doing some cool
It's
things.
crazy though, like the gross waste that goes into all this because
Yeah.
it was seriously pallets upon pallets of T-shirts of different kinds,
Yeah.
of headbands, like all the different posters. So like, SACB did like the run of like the printed Kings players on the back of it for in the playoffs. They had all those original posters just all rolled up and stacked. It was fucking bananas. But anyways, up on third floor. So they had weird shit up there too.
Wait, you brought
he
back.
brought
Oh,
it.
you brought it. Damn.
I only brought one thing back because they
Damn.
had some weird shit up there. So in one of
Come on
the
already.
cages.
Did it give you a bag about when I was drafted? A
Let-
picture
let-
when I was drafted by the Kings?
No,
Go, go.
but they had like boxes of.
What do you got in there?
So
cuz?
remember how like they players
my
will
God,
be
I'm gonna
like
turn off your
Show
microphone.
us.
will be like their autograph thing where the team has them sign stuff. They had boxes on boxes of pictures of those players. So like
Oh.
there was like Christie when he was in the Raptors. So
It was
they
a
had
fake
those.
signature,
They had
right?
no, they weren't even signed
Oh.
yet. It was the boxes of the unsigned ones.
Oh,
So
wow.
there was like old photographs, like boxes of just random old photographs with like numbers and labels on the back.
Wow.
Like media guides from like the 80s and 90s from
So what
like
do you- so what do
different
you got?
teams. So
No.
have you ever been curious? Okay, so another one in one of these cages, they had a bunch of random shoes.
Are they?
Whose fucking shoes
Let
do you
me-
have
No
in
clue.
that
Who, no
motherfucker?
fucking clue whose shoe it is, but I was mind boggled by the size of this fucking
It
thing,
was-
dude. I have no clue. It's a
No.
used,
Damn.
used shoe
Show
now.
us.
Let me see.
It fit. It's
It's the only thing that can. The only thing
So
in that bag.
suspenseful.
I do
Wait,
not
can
know
we get that on there?
whose shoe that
The air
is.
bubble. Oh my god, the air
There
bubble is
were all different. There was Adidas. There was every single different
Oh
brand
my
of shoe.
God.
I have no clue.
Woo! What size is it?
Let's see Lalo do the honors. Lalo. That's
Where's
some
the-
dude's
Yeah.
sweaty feet with.
But it was dope. They had
Size 19.
Oh
Damn. They don't even sell that in stores.
Yeah.
Shout out to my size 10s.
so-
What's that?
Right? So they had like the shoot around
Right.
basketballs up
What it is to
there.
be
So
normal.
I'll bring I got a couple basketballs.
Holy
That's
shit.
pretty badass.
Dude,
But yeah,
you should paint
I'm
that.
dead.
in
that was the
gold.
highlight. That was the
Damn,
highlight
that's
of my trip.
That's
is
very interesting.
walking into this cage of
This thing is heavy. First of all,
Like, how do they
You can
run
tell
in
it's an
that?
old one. So yeah, that's somebody's shoe.
somebody's
These
shoe that
were
they played in the
size
game.
And they had
10 and,
they had
10 and
hundreds,
below, these would be fire.
hundreds of pairs of shoes up there,
Wow.
all just as big. It's bananas,
Wow.
It's just tight.
but
Yeah, that was a good.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good
Yeah,
memory. At
yeah,
first, I
okay.
was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I don't know what's going on here, like, shit.
But you only have one.
I only brought. I'm not gonna carry around. I felt weird carrying that thing around as it
Bro,
was,
you know what
man.
you should do? You should have
Like,
grabbed two and just put them over your shoulder.
I mean, mind you,
It's
I
just like-
should have.
Hey, what's up, girl? How you doing?
These weren't down in like the general public area, so I'm coming down with like random ass shit that people are.
That's like a bunch of people would have stormed if you would have.
Yeah, well, no, you couldn't even go up to third floor.
Oh.
Like that would they on. Okay, in
It's
all
not regular.
honestly, if you
Yeah,
did
Miles
decide,
is not regular.
yeah, if you decided to go, you waited in line a really long time to essentially just walk to center court and
Yeah.
take pictures.
Like, I mean, when me and
Like-
Rochelle went, we took a truckload of shit
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
And I was like, we need to come back. Because there was
So-
fuck. I mean,
Imagine it
Holy
having been
shit.
picked through from that time when we
Yeah.
got these
I
to now
wish.
and how that place looks. Like it's seriously like a bunch of savages just went in and picked through everything they need, like
Yeah.
boxes of cords, just shit pulled out of them.
Oh, that's
You could tell somebody
interesting.
wanted one cord and just pulled this whole fucking
That's
pile
crazy.
out. Like all kind,
why
bro,
didn't we go?
bro, all kinds of media shit,
That's tight.
all kinds of shit.
That's crazy.
So April 1st.
Shout out to Sacramento, though. New
Can't say
memories
that
in the
out loud,
Doco.
but yeah.
Donate that
Golden
stuff.
Yeah,
One.
they probably will, but yeah, that's what we got now.
Hopefully.
Golden One Doco. Goodbye, Arco.
Golden one.
Well,
I can't wait till they tear it down. I'm gonna go watch that too.
are they going to blow it up or just tear it down?
Blow
Oh,
that shit up.
we're going to need to
Yeah,
go over there and just be there for
yeah
that.
they demolishing that motherfucker.
No, you know what? That could be like a next location for the next market for y'all. That would be tight.
Ew,
What?
Good segue.
They're building
What?
building a hospital.
Oh,
You're gonna
yeah.
have to mow the
California
lawn.
North State.
Well,
Hospital.
before they
Mow the
do,
parking lot.
they're gonna have a parking lot.
Yeah.
So people need
It's
fucking.
grass now.
Yeah, huh?
Oh,
You might want to mow that bitch first.
you
But
want to
yeah.
mow it? There might be some rats
No,
and
it was
shit.
the rest of them, motherfucker. But yeah.
Oh, hold on.
No,
oh,
no.
man.
No.
Wait.
I'm turning off your
Yes,
microphone. No.
there were rats on third floor.
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
man.
Fuck them.
She's about to pull one out.
Because
Yeah,
you
but-
know,
Oh, yeah, look.
I
It's the same size of the shoe.
I was being
Damn.
nosy as fuck, so I was going on in all these little rooms up there. Man,
Gross.
some of them are bad.
Ew, I
Like it's
would die.
straight up apocalypse looking up there.
Oh.
Happy
I love it.
happy birthday signs still hung on like the office windows. So like they had a birthday
That's so
party and then
weird.
just bounced
Damn,
out.
I'd be
and left the
offended if
happy
nobody
birthday.
took my happy birthday sign that I gave to someone.
Yeah.
Like, fam, that's what you thought. Like, you left it here. It's all dilapidated.
The office
That's a
is-
big word.
Well, think of it though,
dilapidated.
like it because looking through the office behind it's all like torn up. The desk is all flipped on its side. The chairs are all toppled over. There's boxes strewn about and torn
Imagine
up.
all
Like
the deals that went down there. Hey, man, we're gonna get rid of the flop and we're gonna get Mike. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
there was shit that said Maloof on it still.
Oh wow.
Like up there, like boxes that had
I would've
Maloof
took
on
it.
it.
I would have took the whole
I
box.
rifled through all that shit.
Yeah.
Believe me, if there was anything of value, it would have come home.
yeah.
Like,
But
man
he
in the
brought a
bubble said,
19
man in the bubble
size
said, if
shoe.
you want to grab a box, grab a box.
Oh.
Like, so
Yeah.
it was, it's all up for grabs.
Yeah,
Or
you-
was.
Man, I
All
wish.
right. Well, shit. Well, that was.
That was a good
Was
one.
that Ratchet Ass
That's
Sports
Ratchet Ass
with
Sports. Mr. Miles
Miles
Gialli.
Jelly.
White chocolate? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Miles Jolly.
We never forgot about you. We just fucking got distracted.
You
Squirrel.
both forgot about me. I ain't even gonna
No,
lie.
not this
And look,
time.
man, look.
Play that
We're gonna
shit.
take a 2-second break because I need to go to the bathroom. We'll be right back as I do the whoa with our guests. Thank you. All right, fam, and we are back because Miles had to do hella shit, do his
I did, man.
taxes. He was hella mad because
Hey,
we
do
forgot
your
about
taxes.
it.
Get that money soon.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
Holla.
I mean, you know, do the work. You get the benefits
Holla.
of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
See?
you for
All I
that.
need is flyers and come help me out when
Yeah,
we
I
do
got
pop ups
you.
and all those other things that we do.
Shit, I said.
Yeah.
You left that shit smiling, didn't you?
Hell yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
I got my taxes done, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a partner of We Are Sacramento.
Yeah, and it's dope.
And it's
You know
dope.
what
And
I
I
mean?
am
That's
the
leave it at
accountant
that.
of We Are Sacramento.
Yeah.
So we are back with our guests,
Yes.
Lalo and Leandra, and you know we find out that they got a family owns a shoe store.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give them
So
a
we
shout
got
out.
way
We
side.
don't-
So we
look,
got
an
sidetracked.
unpaid thingamajig. Tell the folks where the shoe store is so they go support it because you know it's from Sacramento and South Sac. So let us know about it a little bit.
Yeah, it's a family-owned store. My dad, my uncle, my brothers mostly run it. They work there. All the hours are on Instagram, but Fast Kicks, FAS, on Franklin Boulevard in South Sac.
And she ain't saying nothing, but her fucking Jordans that she got on right now are fire.
Ah.
You know what I mean? So,
Twins.
yeah, man, you know what I mean? But we appreciate you guys for hitting us up and let us know, that you want to come on. I definitely had already known about you guys. And like I had told you, Lalo, that, Emiliano had put in a good word for y'all, and then you guys are doing a great thing for Sacramento. And obviously, with our platform, we're all about Sacramento. So we really thank you for coming by and just, come here and share your
Yeah.
story. You know what I mean? I know you're feeling nervous and shy,
And
but
it's funny. It's because as a vendor, I've heard of you guys before as well.
yeah,
So like, you're out there.
it's pretty tight. You know what I mean? And you guys have done 2 now.
Yeah, we've done 2. We're coming up on our 3rd one on April 3rd.
Yeah, and tell us what your brand is so that people know about it.
Sactown's Finest Market. It's kind of like we've also been like a vendor too, so we understand like the troubles, like success of it. So what we try to do is we don't try to like stick to one niche of like, oh, we're just gonna do like a sneaker event, or we're gonna do a vintage event. We try to like limit it to around like 10 for each, like I say category, so like 10 vendors, like 10 food. And for me personally, I don't want to be like biased about it, but I enjoy our market probably the best out of anyone I've been to, just because like it's a one-stop shop and you literally see anybody walk in there and walk out with.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Oh,
Love it.
Yeah. Now, not the age is important, but I know where I was at your age.
Yep.
I think that honestly, I do think that this
Yeah.
is very important to
For the
Mario,
norm, right?
Because
But-
he has been, when he introduced us to you guys, and he had told us a little bit about you. Everything that he was saying was like, they're young, they're like doing shit, like they really got their head on their shoulders. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like bring them in. So
And she
here we
knows me,
are.
like I don't normally just say shit
Yeah.
about, you know what I mean? Like,
But he
Yeah.
definitely had really good things to say about you guys. So there's
so
that.
remind people how old you guys are.
I'm 21 and he's 20.
Yeah.
can't even drink yet.
Just kidding.
And you, Lalo, how old are you?
20 years old.
Dope.
There it
Can't
is.
even
And-
drink yet.
And
Sipping on the soda.
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
what it is, man.
and you know what's
Can't
crazy is
even
that
drink
so I've
yet.
seen the Papas and what they look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way, but it doesn't look like something a 21-year-old or a 20-year-old will put together. So big kudos to you guys
I agree.
for maneuvering that,
Yeah.
because I know what I was doing when I was 21, and I was still trying to deal with how do I deal with the public?
Yeah.
And you guys are literally dealing not only with the public, but with eager, hungry business people. How is
Yeah.
that for you guys as a couple? Because you guys are a couple.
Yeah.
How is that?
I would say it has its days, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of them days.
Spoken like a business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say we try to be good people. I think that's the root of it all is we're always ourselves, and we we don't think we're bigger than what we are. We don't ever plan to act that way or be that way. We're ourselves all the time, and I think that's what makes it more personable.
Yeah.
That's tight.
I agree.
And I think
I
that's
love
one
it.
of the hardest things to like stay true to. Also, staying true to yourself and
Yeah.
being, yourself regardless of popularity, or being, quote unquote hosting the table rather than, sitting at the table, quote unquote. So
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's good. Question: who does your guys' graphics?
So each time we hire somebody different.
Sick.
So every single flyer we've had so far has been a different designer.
That
That's
is
awesome.
awesome.
That's
Pretty
very
tight.
awesome.
So you give the opportunity to the world.
Yeah,
Yeah, right on.
we're very big about just like the community, right? And like it seems like you guys are just like putting in place for a lot of
Thank you.
people. You know that,
Yeah.
man, awesome, love it. You guys are great. Social media is fire, by the way.
Thank
you. Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
give you guys that tip as well. And it looks like a lot. I'm scrolling through your guys'
And you know what's funny?
Instagram.
It just reminded me of like a lowrider car club. But when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I know what.
Lowrider car club?
Because there is a San Francisco's
Yeah.
finest. And I was like, oh, I know it. I don't know if you guys knew you did that, but it's like, oh, I see what they did there. You know what I mean? Because that's the market you want to be at. It's Sactown'S finest. Like
Yeah.
that's just what it is and what
Yeah.
we want to be at. And now my question to you is like, what inspired you to just kind of just go ahead and just jump that and go, let's start this? Like, what was that conversation like?
I'd say the inspiration for both of us is we're trying to prove to people that you can have success without the traditional success.
yes.
Right.
So like for us, we're kind of trying to prove to even like the younger generation, but mostly I'd say to the older ones, Like
Me?
people like
Yeah.
people like our parents' age is just like you know, we don't want to like dress up in like suits and all that, go to work every single
Yeah.
day. Like those people that like work for them and stuff.
Yeah.
The boss is like chilling in like pajamas and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like you got to take those risks to like be able to like just kick it in your pajamas.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to
Like-
prove to people is that you can have success without the traditional success.
And,
Yeah.
and I like that you say that because I was trying to explain something very similar to my father, to where, especially in Mario and in my age growing up, because we're in our 40s,
42, let's go.
that when we were growing up, it's spoon fed to us that this is what you do in life. You get
Yeah.
a good job, you save money, you buy a house, you have kids, you get married, retire. And there is no talk.
Milestones that really don't.
Milestones that don't really fulfill the internal happiness or
Yeah.
anything of that nature. So that's something that was completely absent, and it was just spoon
Yeah.
fed. This is the process of becoming an adult. You get a job, save money for retirement, get married, have kids, fucking bounce out when your time to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and there's more to that, just like you guys are example of, that you can make money, make a living in other ways and still fulfill being happy
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
the 9 to 5 routine, that spoon-fed way of life, quote unquote.
And like, where do you see it going? Like, what's the end game for you guys when it comes to the market? Like, what's the vision?
What's a 5-year goal?
Yeah. Like, what's the vision?
I would say we're always, planning on getting better. I
Yeah.
think always expanding. I would say in 5 years, definitely having a bigger venue,
Right.
having more venues, trying to bring something even bigger to SAC than
Yeah.
what it is now.
Right.
I love it.
That's super tight.
I
So-
think that you're.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, go ahead, no, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say I think that you guys' work ethic is like amazing, and the way your mentality right now is awesome. Like you guys are moving,
Thank
and
you.
it maybe I think that so my platform grew fast within the first like year or so, right? More than I could, I guess, imagine at the time, but know that it's worth it and it's well deserved. So you guys are
Yeah.
doing awesome.
Thank
You're gonna
you.
get everything that you guys want.
And you know what's crazy though?
I was
go
going to
ahead,
say,
Miles.
as a vendor, like me being a vendor, you have to deal with people like me all the time, I'm sure. And we
Oh,
kind of we
yeah.
kind of talked about this, but
But Miles is kind of cool though.
I am. I
Yeah.
don't.
He's just a
I've
Raider fan,
always
but it's
carried
alright.
my business
Professional.
professionally
Yeah.
and always portrayed it much bigger than it is as a business, just because I would rather be professional.
Yeah.
And I expect that from people I do business with, so I always provide that. But what is something, and you don't have to share, but like, or details.
Oh no, you do now.
Something that what do us vendors do that maybe we could make life easier on our hosts' end?
I say you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, is how people don't follow instructions or like they get lost because
Stretch is a hell of a thing.
we learned from the first market like organization on our part, how to deal with vendors like on that side. So like we made like a website, like we like explained from the beginning to the end the whole process. We have text clubs, so it's like everyone's getting updated every single
that's
day.
awesome.
That's tight.
And
Yeah.
people will get those texts and they'll still not know what to do.
Yeah.
Or they'll like land on the page we want them to land on, and it has instructions like from A to Z, and they're still asking us questions.
Yeah.
I can assume that those people are older, like me, and they're like, "Wait a minute," and because that's what happens. Like it's
Do you find maybe it's more the insecure vendors?
I think some people
That are
try
our
to
age.
cross the
Yeah.
line of trying to like get more in touch with you and be more personable with you. So like them asking those questions, they think they're getting like a better chance of becoming
Yeah.
like a friend.
I see what you're
They're
saying.
like, hey,
yeah,
and honestly, sometimes I'm like, hey, if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, do that, and we'll be able to connect. But I had mentioned in my last episode that, or our last episode, that how I pick my vendors is really like who's like kind of relevant in my life at the moment, because there's so much. What I do is I do like a Google form because I slack it on my fucking website. Sorry. But I do a Google form and I just have everybody giving their information and I go through it every time I host an event. And I'll probably host maybe like to the max 6 events that vendors can come out at a year.
but you know what? But you know what's funny? If me and Miles call Marty and be like, "Hey, fam, can you put them in?" It like happens.
Well,
So
yeah,
it happens.
But I do think that's because of I'm in the most humble way ever. Like it's my track record. Like I feel like I've been able to show my events they're not popping. They're like people who come to my events, and you kind of mentioned this earlier. Sorry, I'm spitting everywhere. But the people who come to my events, they're very supportive. So like every single person are
Yeah.
gonna buy. The vendors are gonna buy shit from each other. They're gonna walk away doing well, even if my
Yeah.
event is not as good as I want it to be,
Yeah.
right? But I think that shows numbers or what is it? Yeah, whatever. It shows a lot of just
Yeah.
like the demographic of like my platform, you know? So I think what would you guys say? Like who is going to enjoy your guys' market and come out and want to support?
I would say everyone. You know, I think
it.
that it's for everyone. That's why we always pick vendors from different areas. You know, crystals, and then we'll have shoes, and then we have vintage. So it's like, you know, even if you're our age, 20, and then you can come out if you're 50. You know,
Yeah.
my grandparents have a great time
I'm
out there.
almost there.
Love
Let's
it,
go.
yeah. I think that's the best one when our grandmas and grandpas
Yeah.
come out and they're having a good time and also I bet they're hella proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I know.
Yeah. So touching that, like, how's your family looking at you right now? Because
Yeah.
a lot of times, because you went, I'm pretty sure, because even with me, like, I'm like the,
I'm the cool one of the
I'm
family.
like, I'm the
No,
black
just
sheep on my
kidding.
family, because all my uncles, my mom, they all got degrees. I got my degrees, but I went a completely a different way. Like,
Yeah.
wait, what do you mean? So you work in radio? I was like, no, it's a podcast. They're like, but you take pictures? I'm like, yeah, but I'm a photographer too. And then I put
do
together
everything.
things, and they're like, so what do you do again? I was like, I don't even have a position. So
Yeah.
how is that maneuvering that family life? I mean, Mexican families. Like, how does that work for y'all?
I say for my family, just like how I said earlier, we're kind of taught the traditional success. So like growing up, like I was playing baseball and like I was good enough to get like scholarships too. But
Oh, well, look at you. Wait, hold on. You get the,
My
look,
bad.
look at that. Okay.
but
Where are the gunshots at? This is appropriate right now.
Blah, blah, blah.
but it got to a point. So I was a freshman in college when COVID happened. So like everything kind of like came to an end. So I was like, you know what? I have like interest in like journalism. I have interest in marketing, all that. Like, let me see if I can work something with this.
Sports
And
writing.
growing up, like my parents were always like the talkative people, so it was easy to get like those connections that I needed like when I grow up. So when I first started it, I made a website called Sactown'S Finest Media, and I reach out to like MLB players that like I've played with, or like even like Max Griffin, Jessica Julia,
yeah.
Carlos
We,
Candia.
I
Jessica?
think I've heard. Okay, so
I've heard of that.
I didn't
I've
want
heard
to
of
mix
that.
it up. Yeah. I
Yeah.
felt like there was like photos of people who were
Yeah.
successful, not successful,
Like-
but like you're
Yeah.
recognizing people who for the
Yeah.
work and their talent, right, in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And I remember it more as like a media platform, so I didn't know if it was like, look, now
Oh,
Do you know
yeah.
who gave
we're
us this
connecting
microphone?
the dots.
Who?
Jessica
Jessica
Jolie.
Jolie, yeah.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
Earlier we were talking about Decada
Decada
Records.
Records,
That's
yeah.
Jessica. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Small
tight.
world, huh?
Now,
Damn.
when you like your process, right? Like when you with your family now, like when they see you now, like your goals are now like kind of influation, and like they see where you're going. How is that reaction now? Like I'm pretty sure you guys had that talk with like, hey, we're gonna like put together a market. I'm pretty sure they're like, oh, denials.
How are you
You
gonna,
know what I mean?
how are you
Like,
gonna
so
make
you're doing
money?
Denials.
Yeah.
It's gonna be denials. Like how is that now that they see it and it's completely different from that?
I think they were surprised. Like they
That's
were
crazy.
shocked.
Yeah.
Like they came out and they were like, "Oh my god, you did this." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
I
like
think-
you're a grown up. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were just like, "There's no way that like you guys did this." Like even my family sometimes and my grandparents, they'll be like, "Oh, they put on markets, you know," and then they'll come and they're like, "Oh, they put on markets."
Yeah.
Like
Like
this is not denials. This
Yeah.
is like there's some
Yeah.
other things. Yeah.
That's
You can-
awesome.
Yeah.
So are most of them outdoors?
yes, right
They
now.
Both have been. You guys have done two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Two.
awesome.
And when did you guys start doing them?
Our first one was February.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna be a monthly.
Yeah, it's a first Sunday of every month.
Okay.
Love
First Sunday in every
it.
month.
Dope.
And you have, and like you told me, you were sitting down. and You said, "This is literally going to be your job, right?"
Like, yeah, that's what we want to get to the point to. You know, looking like from the outside in, people don't realize like the 5-year or the 10-year plan that we have. We want to grow it to where we can open up like a shop. We want to grow it to where
Sick.
we're even working on getting like a scholarship fund with Sac State so we can like feed it to them,
Sick.
helping those people
Got
out.
it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
you're thinking,
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
You see, like that's
good.
what I think. Like I think that's what we're breaking here now. Like when you have generational gaps, that like me, like if I told my mom I'm gonna start doing this, like I mean, she laughed at me when I told her I was gonna have a liberal arts major. Like she literally laughed, right? And then when I told her I graduated, it's like, okay, cool. What now? And then she didn't believe it. She didn't really see what it meant until she came here about 6 months ago, and I'm 42. She came here from El Salvador and saw what this looked like, and now she can materialize it. And I think with our parents, the difference
Yeah.
is like the generation is now like someone like me that's 42 and is doing something that just we came up with this out of just we got an idea, we're gonna just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Now whatever happens, it happens, and we're gonna go for broke. And like we're literally going for broke. And then she saw it and was like, oh, I see what you're doing. And it's like the same thing that your parents and your families did when they showed up to your thing, because the generations before that,
Yep.
if it's not materialized, it's not viable or credible. And to us, the moment we have an idea and an idealism, it's real to us. Like to me, when I was like, Miles, you want to start a podcast? like literally, we had a store and he passed by me, we about to have a cigarette when I used to smoke. I go, hey, bro, do you want to start a podcast? And at that time, it was like 2 years ago, so I was like 40. You know what I mean?
What was my response though?
He was like, it's not gonna hurt. He's like, it's not gonna hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt anything.
Can't hurt anything. I was like, dope, because this motherfucker don't like to talk to people, but it was gonna be dope. And then she was our first guest, and blessing, because I know her cousin. And it's just kind of things aligned. So, what was the one thing that you saw that aligned for y'all? That was like, this is the fucking thing. You see what I did right there?
Yeah.
Damn, man. This is why we do what we do. We love it.
I say around like November, or I think October is when we had like that talk at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, yo was high. Okay.
so we were just
Sorry,
talking,
Grandma.
and I know we're both just trying to prove that like you can just like be successful, like how I said, and just do what you love, like, or else like you're gonna be broke, like how you were saying too.
Yeah.
And so we were just talking, and I was just like, we got to figure out like what we're interested in, what we love doing, and figure out like how to be
Heck yeah.
successful with that. So for her, it was like crystals. For both of us, it was like selling like vintage clothes and stuff. And for me, I like doing sports cards and all that. And then it kind of transitioned into us having an idea for a market. And then the ball just kept rolling. And I was just like telling Leandra, I was like we did this in 2 months. Imagine what this could be next month.
Yeah. Every time.
So
And we need
That's awesome.
dreamers, for sure.
I was gonna say, I gotta ask. So, what position did you play in baseball?
I was a pitcher.
Pitcher, right on.
Fuck yeah, I can tell. You got that vibe, homie.
Yeah,
Like, for real. Like, it's
was,
the hat, the way you wear the hat.
That's
Are you a
hecka funny.
lefty?
I'm left-handed, but I throw right-handed.
Okay.
Let's go. Ambidextrous. Let's do it.
Did you-
know I got my
do you
glove in
still
that
play right
fucking
now?
thing.
No.
Did you
I
hurt your
do.
shoulder?
Yeah, I got in a car crash my freshman
Oh
year.
no! See, that's the
We
type
could
of
have been
questions
rich.
that I
You
ask.
mean to tell me we could have been rich?
I'm like, damn.
And I'm saying we because you're here now. We family.
No.
So
I'm glad that you're good.
Yeah.
You can move your
you.
shoulder a little bit.
now where obviously you have a plan, right? What do you feel are some obstacles that you have actually experienced? And because you experienced those obstacles, what other obstacles are you getting ready for?
Asshole vendors.
I love how you just looked at her and was like, baby girl, you got to put that one in. You go, tell her how it is. I'm going to do this for you, so go ahead. Let's go.
I would say obstacles. We are in a relationship, so it's the balancing both. That we're in a relationship, that we do business together. So it's making sure that everything in our life is good, because we work a lot, we do all that stuff every day, all the time.
Yeah.
So I would say our biggest obstacle would be mostly ourselves.
That's important.
Holy shit.
most
yeah.
important.
That's pretty deep. I like that.
Heck yeah. Do
Yeah.
you guys think that you act as like you guys handle your own businesses or your own business, right? Everyday life. And then when you guys come together, I always say like, oh, that's the best like type of relationship when you come together and you just are so impactful and like everything just, it makes sense, right? And it's like, damn, this is why, not to sound all deep in love and shit, but I
That's
just feel like
all
it
right.
works for like business sides where you're,
Yeah.
my man is also an entrepreneur. He's a DJ and like,
Only the best DJ in fucking town,
yeah. So if you guys ever need a DJ,
Santana must die.
Yeah,
That's
he's
his
pretty
name.
dope.
Yeah,
But
way underrated.
they are sleeping on
They
him.
really are.
He's like an on tour DJ too, so it's
Keep
them
going,
DJs.
keep
Them
going.
DJs are different. Like there's DJs,
I forgot
and then
what I was
there's
saying.
like on tour DJs,
Then Santana.
and then there's Santana. I was like,
Yes.
Santana must die.
Yes.
Because then you're gonna
But
look
sorry.
at his age and then look at his music selection and
Yeah.
be like, dude, this cat knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
music.
Yep. I
Yeah,
forgot
but
what
where
I
we
was
going
saying.
with
I
this?
Anyway,
was-
sorry.
I'm sorry.
See, that's how, because it's true shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to get,
I was saying about being in a relationship and also doing business. I know it's hard, but like it's very impactful and it's rewarding. That's the word
Right.
I was looking for at the end of the day.
And now, how do you prepare for it? Like now that you're experiencing this, like how does that play out when you're planning something? Like you mean, like we've all been in relationships. We've all been mad at somebody, right? But at some point, you got to be objective, and you go, "Babe, I hate you right now because you didn't throw out the garbage." But we got to plan this motherfucking thing, and we got to talk to each other. So
Yeah.
how do you guys plan that? Like, how do you guys foresee that?
I say for me and Leandra, we get along really well. So we haven't really ran into like any things where it's like insanely like negative
Right.
or like impactful on us. But I do know that when we're together, if we're doing something that we love, there's like nothing that can like beat us. It could be like another market or anything. I know nothing's gonna be better than what we're doing if we love doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's what it's like. True love casts out fear, right? But it's true. Like you spoke to her. You spoke to her soul.
This is the question that Mario usually asks like at the end of the podcast,
Yeah.
and it's kind of relevant. So I'm still in it and asking
Yeah, go ahead.
right now.
Do
So
your thing. That's why
what
you're
is-
boss.
What is your right? I like you guys today,
Fam,
man.
fam, we support you all the way. You know that.
Thank you. What is success to you guys? You kind of touch bases on like the love part.
How do
of
you
it,
measure
right? And-
success?
For me, I've never really measured success on like money or anything. I just want to be happy with where I'm at.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
go.
Dope.
Well, hold on, you get the claps. Not the other clap, but the claps.
What about you, girl?
I would agree. Wanting to be happy, having that family at the end and just being with all the people that I love.
Yeah.
That would be.
And do you? I
Don't
mean,
follow the money.
do you?
Not follow the money.
And I think when people hear this, and when they do, I think what I gather from you guys is that the vendors that you do encounter and you do business with, they become your family because the way homeboy from Tacos 916, shout out to you and the Micheladas.
They're gonna be at Made by Women this weekend.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And the way he spoke about you guys and
That's
Phil,
awesome.
he's in here with us and we have an audience right now. Shout out to Phil. He spoke really well about you guys and what I love about the way generations are changing is that like older people are talking good about
Yeah.
younger
Yep.
people. Like, and I've said this to Madi, and me and Miles, I've said this to Madi. Like, we cannot wait for her to be 42 or 40 years old. Not to say that we want her, but like we want to see where Madi is going to be at, and I will express that same sentiment to you guys. Where it's like, if this is what you guys are doing right now, I honestly cannot wait to be fucking old and see what you guys are doing in
Hell
10
yeah.
years because that is what we're supposed to do. Where no one is competition, and we're supposed to just truly love each other for what we're doing. And if you guys are receiving any kind of hate or any kind of politics from other things
From asshole vendors.
or asshole vendors, like, believe me, that will pass. Good things will pass, and then they will come around, and history repeats itself, and it'll be a roller coaster. And that is the advice that I never got from an older person, but from someone that's 42 to a 20 to 21-year-old. I honestly think you guys are doing an amazing job because I've been watching you guys as stuff, and I think it's an amazing thing to see. And I can honestly, I cannot wait to see what you guys have planned for the future and how better it's going to be because of the way you guys speak. Now, to ask you, how do you think, are you guys interested in creating an experience? Like what is the better for you guys? Because it's already like right here. So what does the better look like?
I say for me personally, I struggle with like believing in what I do sometimes.
yeah.
So like in the moment, I'll have like confidence and everything. I'm like, wow, like I really did this. But I think I compare myself to what I'll be next month, and that's what makes me question myself. So for me, like what pushes me is like whoever I want to be at 25, I want to be that person at the end of this year. Whoever I want to be at 30, I want to be that at 25.
Yeah. That's
Dope.
it.
So that's the better for me. Yeah.
And you, miss?
Yeah, I would say I take it one day at a time, actually.
I'm the same
tight.
way.
I would say I kind of come with it, and as it comes, I kind of face it, and I always do want to be better, of course, but I think it's just for me taking it slow.
Don't you
I
Wish
love
we
it.
thought like that at their age.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was,
read a book that said that like our age is gonna like be spiritually woke.
yeah.
I'm not lying.
And that's the thing. I think that
I don't
if
know
you,
what my
do you
age
guys
is,
read
but
it all?
Forgot
or-
what book it
something.
was, but
If you
we
guys
write more, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think reading the right things or like experiencing the right things, like don't read the same books that you agree with. Read things that challenge you mentally. Like I read things that challenge me emotionally and mentally, whereas I'm learning things like I read things that I don't necessarily agree with. You know,
Yeah,
like
because it's important to
it's
see the
important.
other perspective
other
because
perspective.
it helps make rounded thinking.
yeah,
because
because
you're
the
able,
further you get in life and business life, you are going to be challenged. And you are going to go through some things where you are going to feel like, am I doing something wrong? And you're going to question what you're doing, but don't falter and believe and let that, you know what I mean?
we gave them hell
Pollute.
advice today.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Oh
they're
my
the
God.
guests. Like,
It's just
fuck.
We've been waiting for people.
Like, yeah, we were waiting for the children to get here, but children are here. But, like, at the end of the day,
we've done a lot of shit.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
we have.
Been
Good
through some
advice.
shit, but we appreciate y'all and what you guys are doing, and we thank you guys for being here. Now, how can people find you and become part of your market? And don't be assholes when you want to become part of
Be
their market.
professional.
Let's go.
I've been trying to tell you vendors not to be.
So we drop our applications every month, usually in the beginning or end of that month, and then you can find us on Instagram at Sactown'S Finest Market, and then we have a website. So we usually always post on our Instagram what days we're gonna drop the application. We'll keep it. We're always very active on there, and so I would say Instagram's your best bet.
Dope. Now,
Vendors, be professional.
yeah. Now, can there be like a promo code for when we are Sacramento refers people? I'm just that'd
All
be kind of
these
tight.
discounts, huh?
Like, hey, look, so here's we promote these people. Put them on. No, but we appreciate you and thank you guys for being here. And I'm
Very
gonna
much.
close the show like this. Look, fam, be nice to each other, even at work. And even if you don't like your coworkers, there's no reason to not be kind.
Man, I love my
Because
coworkers.
I had this conversation with Santana where it's like, I help people out that I don't like.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about honor and how people are going to remember you. And you guys, Lalo and Leandra, you guys are doing an amazing job. And we appreciate you guys for coming. And so with that being said, we got an Instagram, and it's We Are Sacramento.
916.
And we got an email, and it's We Are Sacramento.
916.
.com, and we are
Sacramento.
Forgot about the website. It is
He's
We Are Sacramento
messy.
916.com.
He's
Hella
messing up
messy
today.
today.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, my
Music.
Okay, well, bye. Are we
Bye, 3 beers. I already said it.
He's got to piss again.